Book 5 Chapter 2. 7 Days of the Divine Flame in the Dactylis. Year 1147, Month 6. Falma did his own reproductive function experiment from his point of interest, and after a month, he was overwhelmed by his daily business life. He completely forgot the task assigned to him by the Empress. Possessed by a former Japanese as pharmacologist for the 12-year-old Falma, he's having a problem with the marriage, and it's unthinkable for a child to have a child. By the way, Falma had a momentary thought about committing suicide or turning himself into the military officer for the stupid act done by Yarikashi the exhibitionist in front of Lot. But Lot has a personality that doesn't pursue things any further, and she tends to forget things after a week. It appears she has a natural personality. On a certain day off, as the day has good weather, Falma and Lot did not use a horse-drawn carriage and walk along the river bank with their friends. They're on the bank of the Saint-Fleuve River while looking forward at the strolling and sitting people as they relax at the water's edge. The flowers grow lushly on both river banks because it's in the fresh green growing season. Since there is no rainy season in the Saint-Fleuve Empire, it would be nice to spend relaxation time. It has the same climate as Europe. The empire originally has low humidity and its air is warm and crisp all year round. As Falma is going better in high humidity, he feels comfortable. Wow, the flowers are beautiful over there. We can pick a few. Lot skillfully made a bouquet of wildflowers and smiles while presenting it to Falma. Let's decorate the reception desk with them at the pharmacy. That is because they are good for the place. I like the idea. Lot's paintings add color to the pharmacy, so thank you. Are some photos based on Lot's viewpoints, and Falma decorated the pharmacy with them. They're colorful and the colors are very soothing, as they entertain the eyes of the visiting patients. I'm going to walk to the court studio today. I want to go get some paint. Lot is a court painter, and providing her paintings and her production of her own design went smoothly. She's also planning a joint exhibition with Melody. Lot's production is done in her own room at the Medici's family. After her shift at the pharmacy, when Falma leaves for the college, she heads over to the court studio. If you're going to the palace, I'll come with you. Is it true? Then let's go together. Lot strolls closely to Falma. Although it's just a bit, Lot's body rubs closely to his. And then, the gap is pretty close. Lot used to walk 3 steps behind him, but Falma had a feeling the distance between them was shrinking. Falma is heading toward the palace with Lot and meet up Solomon. Solomon, being entrusted with the task in teaching advanced mythology and as a mythical advisor, just completed his lecture in the conference room. I want to be transparent when I'm in the sun, so. Ha ha ha, it's just a joke, no matter how much you can see through it. It's true, and it's an urgent matter. In the past, Falma misrepresented his inability to cast shadows, and he obtained a talisman from Solomon to reduce his divine power and wore it by placing it in his chest pocket. It was able to alleviate the situation where his shadows could not be seen. However, it is no longer possible to prevent his shadows and the transparency issues. The talisman I received before, it appears my condition and has become uncontrollable and it can no longer help. That's a problem. If it's more than that can handle, beside a god sealing technique, there's no other way, and it's beyond what I can do for Falma-sama. God sealing, what is that? To address Falma's question, Solomon opens his mouth to explain with enthusiasm. It's a forbidden technique that seals the guardian deity. It may be terrifyingly effective for Falma. That's true. That is good news. With that, will you do it? Falma becomes enthusiastic as soon as he heard the discussion, and Solomon shrinks back. Falma-sama, are you asking me to seal you godly power? You're asking this of me? Yes, I am. Is it difficult? He knew Falma was serious, and Solomon replied in a hurry. No, I can't, I won't. Contrary to my faith, I only seal the evil spirits, but sealing Falma-sama, the guardian deity, it's preposterous. Don't mind me. With my body being transparent, it's better for me to suffer the pains than to frighten the people around town or the ones coming to the pharmacy, so with that reason, please help me. I can't deny if it's Falma Sama's request, but won't it? So, with that being said, as Solomon is being hesitant, he wrote down the forbidden spell and handed it over to Falma. Place this on your skin. It's best to stick it directly on your arm where the medicine god's crest is. The sealing of the medicine god's crest can significantly reduce your divine power. But if you can't stand the pain, don't hesitate to peel it off. After all, it's called a contraindication mark, which is said to cause severe pain and weaken the guardian deity. I can't believe I'm providing such a thing to Falma Sama. We thank you so much. Falma is one scary, easygoing person that terrifies Solomon to the point of tipping over. He flips over his sleeves to unprotect his arms, and stuck the spell onto the medicine god's crests on both arms and wrapped the arms up with bandages. Hi Tilda. All at the same time. Solomon swallows his scream, and jumped to his feet. It's tingling. It hurts, but I can't say which ones feel better. Solomon decided not to mention about Falma's ecstasy. Gay, it's supposed to be painful. This can't compare to Sophie's electric shock. Falma trained himself in many ways. Well, I thank you for this. Falma's divine power has been weakened, and his transparency ceased. However, Falma's metamorphosis power has increased seen through Solomon's perspective. Perhaps the mystery of the Great Temple's God-sealing technique may not work well for Falma Sama. He may not aware of the Great Temple too well, as Solomon ponders in a corner of his heart. Thank you, Solomon-san. I'm always saved by you. Well, you're welcome. Make sure whether or not the God-sealing technique was properly performed in sealing your power, so please check later. Yes, I will confirm it. It means with this, my ability to create and erase substances can no longer be used if the current spell is attached. I'm not going to worry about it. While thinking about this, he went to the court studio to pick up Lot, and as Lot is crouching down during her production of her painting, she's blowing her nose. Can Lot go home? Or should I go home first? I'll head back with you. I'm feeling a bit sick. She may have a hard time breathing, since the bottom of her nose is red. I can't stop my runny nose. It looks like I have a cold. While they're talking, her runny nose seems to be flowing again. She turns her face around behind us, and blows her nose. Do you want to go home early today and take a rest? Falma care for Lot. It's unlikely to get any worse, so it's best for her to rest. Yes, thank you. Come to think of it, Her Majesty also has a cold. When Falma returned home and roughly checked on his abilities according to Solomon's advice, the material creation and the erase substance abilities continued to activate just like before. The problem suspected with the God-sealing technique is not happening, which is good. Falma was relieved. A cold, NN? Rebecca. The next day, Lot did not go to work, and there is no sign that the cold will subside. And even Rebecca had redness under her nose. Rebecca has a cold? Is it spreading? You can leave early. Falma cares about them. Yes, Tilda, but I'm fine. Store owner. Rebecca was embarrassed. Come to think of it, for the two of them being close to Falma-kun to have a cold, that's rare. You see, the place, the pharmacy, is a sanctuary. Ellen whispers to Falma. About the sanctuary's secret knowledge, only Ellen and Cedric know about it. Sure is, it's strange. Ellen hasn't caught a cold. Neither Cedric, the lively pharmacist Mother Celeste, nor the young pharmacist Roger. It's because of the sanctuary, as it acts like a passive skill that is constantly activated a few kilometers wide because of Falma's existence. Humans in the area are less likely to get an infection or illness. Is it not working? Falma thought to himself. Two people, having a cold? Falma's caught in his dilemma. He doesn't have absolute trust in his own abilities, since it's strange given the fact that pharmacist employees haven't caught colds for such a long time. Could the God-sealing technique be the cause, ceasing the function of my sanctar? It can't be, since it was yesterday and today that I seal the mark. He was a little worried, and he did not hesitate to use the diagnostic on two. He then attempted to guess the name of the disease. Bacterial infection. Viral infection. When Falma line of sight matches with hers at the right timing, Lot cutely sneezes with a cuchon. Even though with the sneezing, it can be part of the symptoms similar to a common cold, but it also a characteristic symptom of a certain disease. I got it. Falma is almost reaches conclusive determination. Seasonal allergic rhinitis. The blue light turned white. It was the seasonal allergic rhinitis, or hay fever. If that is the case, it will be necessary to identify the source of allergies at once. Speaking of the plants growing in the imperial capital during this time, it's known that the world's three largest hay fever back on Earth were suji, Japanese cedar, rice plants, and ragids. Falma's perspective of the imperial city's landscape. Although cypress is part of suji, its heart grows in the imperial capital areas. Birch, kasiwa, Japanese oak, hazel. When being exposed to one among them, some people react strongly to some of the plants. Taking into account the most questionable plant, the white light increased in intensity. The orchard grass. I'm thinking, is it Dactylis? They grew quite a bit along the river banks. It has grown quite a bit. Falma has an idea. He just saw it the other day. Both of you have runny nose? Yes. Do you sneeze? Yes. Do you have stuffy nose? Yes. Toward Falma's questioning, the two are competing in providing him the answer. I have itchy eyes. Lot seems to have more severe symptoms. Well now, I want to ask if there is one or two more people who may also have the symptoms from today. No, not today. By the way, it happens every year, in spring. Rebecca shyly raises her hand. So it wasn't because of my sanctuary. The sanctuary doesn't interfere with the allergies. Falma strokes his chest for the time being. It was a close shave for the sanctuary to control his transparency problem, and if the morbidity rate rises, it's his failure to control the situation. It's hay fever. What is hay fever? It was a term that Lot heard of. Well, to put it very roughly, your body mistakenly recognizes pollen as a pathogen. It's trying to make antibodies to eliminate them from your body. Eliminating? It's to eliminate. To sneeze out by rinsing them with tears or runny nose, as your body is trying to dilate the blood vessels in the back of your nose and prevent an invasion with a stuffy nose. Does it make sense? You'll find that allergies are written properly if you read Falma's textbook. Rebecca-chan, you're not reading as much. Ellen smiles behind Lot and supplements his explanation. You're right. I'm sorry, since I haven't progressed much with the textbooks. Rebecca is jealous. How can I get rid of it? I blow my nose too much. I have pain under my nose, and it's also tingling. Lot covers her nose with both hands. She is embarrassed that it's red. I'm sorry, but once it develops, it doesn't heal quickly. Pollenosis happens every year. To Falma's ruthless statement, Lot falters. Every year. This is impossible. It depends on the amount of pollen scattered. You'll be cured if you go to a country where Dactylis does not grow, but that's not going to happen. We procure the medicine. Falma pulls out the medical records for the two, and simply added the new records. It's been a long time since he handled a medical record. What, Tilda? I'm looking forward to Falma-sama's medicine. Lot was involuntarily praising, and it has been a while since Falma provided medicine to his employees other than Cedric. If it's Lot-chan, you're going to look forward to the medicine. Ellen laughed. I'll give you a medicine to suppress histamine. I'll make fexofenadine. She's not taking steroids. Are they used to prevent infections and deterioration of adrenal function? Ellen asks a question. According to the textbook, the adults were supposed to use steroids if their symptoms were severe. Lot, a child under the age of 15, so I will not give her steroids orally unless it is serious. Isn't it okay if she uses eye drops or nasal drops? The therapeutic medicine fexofenadine is the histamine receptor antagonist, or simply put, an antihistamine. Lot is taking 30 milligrams twice a day, while Rebecca is 60 milligrams a day, prescribed as steroid mometasone nasal spray. As for hay fever medicine, some people don't like to use it, so it has to be reconsidered again if it doesn't work for them. Do I have to weigh myself for my medicine dosage? Lot and Rebecca sucks in their bodies. But I can tell your weight by looking at your body shape this time. How much do you think I weigh? That's right, Falma-sama. It's a joke, because the dosage calculation method is based on age, so it's okay this time. While the Dactylis is growing, you shouldn't eat too much wheat, melon, watermelon, and kiwi. Falma advises them from the dispensing room. There are foods that cause allergies when gramineous plants develop pollinosis because the immune system mistakenly recognizes them as pollen just biting them. Falma explained. What is kiwi? Ellen asks. Isn't there kiwi here? It's a cultivated plant, I see. That's Falma-sama for you, and aside from the fruits, we'll die in refraining from eating wheat. Wheat is a staple food. Lot didn't express her sadness. Bread, of course, made from wheat and baked with sweets, is Lot's favorite food. Don't eat too much of it. When you have hay fever, there is a certain probability that it occurs for food allergies, and it's dangerous. What if I still eat it? If the worst case to occurs, it'll cause anaphylactic shock and you will die. It's a threat to your health. Lot and Rebecca trembled. To relieve anaphylactic shock, an injection of adrenaline is needed. Ellen murmured while recalling. Ellen has the correct answer. That is, you should always have it prepared. Falma seriously pondered upon it. I wish Dactylis disappeared from the world. Lot leans against the pharmacy's counter, and she deeply sighs over and over again. Falma places the medicine bag on her worrisome head. Cheer up. Look. Lot's hay fever isn't that bad. Yours too, Rebecca. Thank you, Falma-sama. Lot's hand touches the medicine bag and Falma's hand at the same time, and she is surprised at her emotion as she withdraws it in a hurry. It can't be helped. Since orchard grass is not eliminated, you have no choice but to put up with it. Ellen's comment to Lot and Rebecca offers no comfort. I can't do anything, I can only nothing this time since I can't walk outside. Sorry, Lot-chan, Rebecca-chan, you have hay fever that won't heal for the rest of your life. Don't you think about other having this problem? I don't know when Ellen may have it. I mean, everyone can get hay fever. You might be the next to get it. Falma also advises Ellen. Falma-kun, I don't. There is a possibility. Isn't there? Yes, that's right. Use a mask, Lot-chan. Masks and glasses are for personal protection. Ellen preaches about the protective measures for hay fever, as she raises her glasses. It's a standard knowledge seen in Falma's textbooks. Wait a moment. On that topic, Her Majesty may have hay fever as well. Lot, didn't you say Her Majesty mentioned to you that she had a cold yesterday? I have to give the medicine to Her Majesty if that's the case. Falma suddenly remembers. He thinks it may be a cold, or it can also be hay fever. And the next day, when he goes to the palace for her medical examination, his expectation is dead on. After a few days on that day, every Dactylis disappears from the entire imperial capital. The Empress's order was issued. All the fields of Dactylis were burned down by the flame divine art users. The Empress was thinking about flexing her authority. It has become easier. Thanks to Falma-sama's medicine. The overall benefit from that, Lot and Rebecca were very pleased because there was a dramatic reduction in their hay fever's symptoms. That was good thing. I wonder whatever happened to the Dactylis. They're all gone. With simply a nod, Falma knew the truth and was frightened by the Empress's ability to act. Even though there is a medicine for her consideration, well, I rarely see it. The Dactylis in the imperial city. It's been steadily removed, and the day when Dactylis will enter the Red Record Book 6 in the imperial city is near. From the location throughout the imperial city, a mythical flame that risen up for 7 days to burn the Dactylis. In reference of those who witnessed it, the imperial residents called it the 7 days of the God Flame. Author's acknowledgement. In part of this section, I was instructed by the pediatrician about the consumption of bread. In addition, the above info has been peer-reviewed by the pharmacist Ochienoma Ocha. Thank you very much everyone. If you are a peer-reviewed expert, please let the author know.